Hi everyone, Allison Chariez here, founder of the AC7 Group. Thanks for watching today. Today's video is about step number 1 in your job search. Your job search, folks, it's a process. And yes, it's a multi-step process. And this is step number 1, identifying the companies that you want to work for. So creating a target company list for your job search. A lot of folks come to me and they're really frustrated. They say, hey, Allison, you know what? I have been sitting down. I have gone every single day this week. I've sat down for hours applying to jobs, creating cover letters, sending out resumes, and I'm just not getting anything. No bites. Nobody's calling me back. And I ask them, I'm like, all right, well, let's go over your plan. What's your plan? And they're like, what? What do you mean a plan? Most people don't realize that when you have a job, when you're actively searching for a new position, you need a plan. You need a plan to go through every single day. That way you know how to structure your day, so you're not just wasting time throwing your resumes into the black hole of resumes. We all know what that black hole is, right? We've done it. We've been there. We're sending out resumes, and we're going to Career Builder and Monster and whatever other job site searches that we're doing, and nobody calls us back, and we might call them and they're like, oh, who is this? Oh, let me look up your name. Oh, yeah, we're going to call you back once we have a position. You know, we know that. I'm sure you know the drill. All right? So let's get a plan in place. Step number 1 of your plan is identifying your target company list. All right? CVC stands for client, vendors, and competitors. Now, I'm going to say this now. If you are currently working and you have signed a non-compete, you need to be really careful. Everything that I'm saying here now, I'm just going to throw this out, blanket statement out here. You know, if you've signed a non-compete, you need to look that over. You need to know what your options are and what they're not, what you can and cannot do. Consult an attorney if you have to. But in no way and in no time will I ever tell you to work to progress in your search in a way that's going to jeopardize your integrity. Always work with integrity, okay? But I'm going to show you ways of, you know, even if you have a non-compete, there are certain ways of being able to still find some companies without breaking that non-compete, okay? So let's go over the first C, that's clients, all right? So these are the folks that employ your company for their services, all right? So if you're in the sales environment or you're an account manager, you've got it lucky here because you have firsthand access to them. You know all of their contact information. You've probably built relationships with them, rapport. You know, you have that rapport with them. So this is going to be easy for you. For the folks that are more back office and not in a sales environment, this could be a little bit more difficult. This might require you to do some research. You know, really anything on Google nowadays, you can do some research or just talking to some folks. Do your research. Find out who your clients are. You know, who does your company serve? You should probably know that anyway. Just as a good employee, you should probably know who your company is serving. So do some research. All right. Your V, the vendors. These are the folks that employ, that you employ, that your company employs to do services to keep your company running. All right. So, for instance, this could be IT companies. Most companies employ an IT firm to to provide, you know, their software applications. You know, if you're in recruiting, it's an applicant tracking system, or HR has an HRIS system, a CRM if you're in sales. All right, so those are your vendors. I was a vendor. Actually, the companies that I worked for were vendors. So we had Fortune 50 and Fortune 100 companies come to us, and they came to us saying, hey, we need your help to find candidates for, you know, these open positions that we have. We were vendors. All right, so that would be a vendor. And again, you know, if you have firsthand access to them, awesome. If not, you'd have to do some research, see who your vendors are. All right, really easy. If you work on if you're back office, turn on your computer, and if you have any system that you're working on, look to the about or homepage and see who's making that system. That's a vendor. All right, so do some research. You can find them. And then the last C is your competitors. Right? These are your competitors. There's really no additional explanation needed for that. They're the people that you fight for your business. All right, you're going after the same folks, the same type of business. You're in the same industry, so on and so forth. All right, so I know what most of you are saying. You're like, all right, Allison, I know all of this. All right, these are kind of like common sense, but thanks for reminding me. Click. All right, well, here's my secret. And it's really not a secret per se, as a hint or a kick in the butt that you need to go take care of this, really. And that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn, folks, that's your secret, all right? If you're not on LinkedIn, you need to be. Many of you are probably now going, but I'm not on LinkedIn and I don't want to be on LinkedIn. Or I made a LinkedIn profile, but that was like 3 years ago and I've never updated it. Or I go on LinkedIn sometimes when I found something interesting to read. Or I go on LinkedIn only to see what other people are doing. So LinkedIn is a professional networking site. It's not Facebook. It's not meant to be Facebook. It's a professional networking site. When you're actively searching for work, you need to be networking. You have to be networking, online and offline. All right? So your offline, those are the kind of the funner ones. If you're an extrovert or outgoing, you like those happy hours where you're going out and meeting people and you're connecting with people and you're joining groups and you're joining meetups.com or those type of things, and you're going to these networking events, and that's awesome. You should be doing that. Absolutely. But in this market, man, things are changing. You could do that 5 years ago, 3 years ago, really, and really make some good connections that are going to help you find your next position. But, times are changing. Everything's, online now. And I guarantee you that if you're not on LinkedIn, you're going to have such a difficult time, or a more difficult time than if you're you're actively using LinkedIn and engaged with your network on LinkedIn and constantly expanding your LinkedIn network. It's vitally important. It's critical. You have to be engaged with LinkedIn. All right. So what you can do with LinkedIn to find companies that you want to pursue that are like your clients, right? So take your contact from your client company and pull that person's up, pull that profile up. Right? On the left-hand side, there will be, right-hand side, I'm sorry. On the right-hand side, there will be 3 or 4 different profiles where it will say similar profiles that other people have viewed, or something along those lines. All right? Click on one. All right? That person that you just clicked on, that profile that you just clicked on, is going to be similar to your client's profile. And more than likely, they're going to be in the same type of position, in a similar industry, in a similar company, and they're going to be just like your client, except not your client, and therefore you're not violating your non-compete. But it's similar to your client, so you're still falling under the that umbrella of that similar type of client. All right. And then when you click on that, so say you're looking at your client is Jane, right? You click on Jane's profile, you're looking at Jane, you look to the right and you see Susie. Susie has a similar profile that other people have been looking at. So you click on Susie. All right, Susie pops up. Yay, Susie. Susie's awesome. You click on Susie and say connect. You want to connect with Susie. You might write something along the lines of, hey Susie, I saw you on, I saw your profile on LinkedIn. I'm in the XYZ industry and I'm looking to expand my network. Can we connect? Something really, non-threatening. All right. And you want to keep doing this over and over and over again to expand that network. All right. Next to Susie or, below Susie, you might see Paul. Paul. You do the same thing with Paul. Paul. Saw you on LinkedIn. I'm in the same industry and I'd love to start growing my network within this industry, like-minded individuals, blah, 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 blah. All right. So the cool thing about this is that you have 3 or 4 people next to Jane's, the original profile, right, that you were looking at. But then you go into Susie's. And then Susie has 3 or 4 more new ones that are like her. And Paul has 3 or 4 more new ones that are like her. And here is the power of networking, of social networking. It's like all of these spider webs, right? So you go to one, but you can connect with like a bajillion. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word for today. All right, so you need to do that with your clients. You need to do that with your vendors. So same thing with your vendors. You take the contact that you have at the vendor company and you look at their profile, you find similar profiles, and you do the exact same thing. And before you know it, you're connecting with like all of these people, and they're coming from companies that maybe you haven't even thought of before, but they're similar to your client companies or your vendor companies. All right. Now here's what I was talking about before with your competitors. It's a little bit harder to do because if you pull up your contact at your competitor and you find a similar profile, they work at a different company, but they're a similar company to your competitor company, most likely they're still going to be a competitor, all right, because they're in the same industry, they're doing the same thing. So that might be a little bit more difficult if you have a non-compete. If you don't have a non-compete, go to town. Build your network, all right? So yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. It's a CVC methodology. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you guys, all right? What I want you to do is in the link in the Facebook profile, Facebook post, there's a link to download a template that I've created to help you create your target company list. And it's really simple. It's really not rocket science. You could probably do it yourself, but I've done it for you, so all I got to do is print it out and write it down. Download that, and the template that I've created will actually help you come up with 15 companies. All right, and they can be in the same industry. They can be across different industries, because many of you work in back office positions that can be with transferable skills that can be transferred across different industries. So this will give you an opportunity to come up with 15 different companies. Now I'm challenging you to only come up with 5 for right now. So we're going to take baby steps. So all I need you to do within the next 24 hours, come up with 5 new companies that you're going to target using the CVC methodology. All right? Then leave your messages. Leave your on Facebook post, comments. Comment away. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know, what's challenging you. What are your obstacles? Let me know what's going on. And like it if you like it. Push the little like button. Share. If you know somebody that could use this, share, please. Let me know how things are going. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this served you. I hope it helped. Please let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time.